April is Autistic Wrath Month. And I apologize if my voice is croaky. I am dealing with some allergies, and for some reason, the phlegm just goes down my throat and my voice cracks. I am not employing vocal fry on purpose. I hate it, but I want to get this video out and done. This July 29th, 2025, I will turn 45 years old. 45. I remember making a video when I was 35. That was 2015. And now we're in 2025. A lot of things have changed in the world. But autism research, still does not seem to be led by autistic people. Hence me wearing red. Because Autism Speaks can go suck eggs. Okay, Autism Speaks, y'all suck. They still suck. They still want to misinform the public about autism and be the voice on autism while treating autistic people like we're tragedies that they only accept because they can't change us right now. But as soon as they find like a cure, they're going to be wanting to dish it out like M&Ms in an ABA session. I don't need to explain why ABA sucks. You should know by now. And if you don't, Google. Google why autistic people don't like ABA. Okay. So what does me being almost 45 years old have to do with this? Autism and aging. Things that didn't bother me when I was 5, 15, 25. When I got to 35 and now approaching 45, that changed. Those changed a bit. Sensory issues shift throughout life. And like sounds that I could kind of tolerate are now just unbearably painful. Sensory issues like tactile things that used to be kind of, ugh. It's like, nope, 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 nope. Don't bring it near me. I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to see it, smell it, whatever. But a lot of autism research focuses on kids. Okay, as if you minimize the autism in a child, they will be less autistic as an adult. And really, all you're doing is teaching them to mask their traits and hide who they are. You need to teach autistic kids how to work with their autistic traits. And also, we need to teach them that these traits can change over time. Because it can be scary and it can cause a burnout if they spend their entire life being taught that sounds don't actually hurt and it's all in their head, and that they need to stop being so ridiculously difficult. Because when they're 5 and 15 and 25, that they might be able to keep masking, but by 35 and 45, and what about 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 105? I mean, you never know how long they could live. They could make it to 115. Who knows? But if we don't research autism across the entire age of a person's life, of autistic people's lives, if we don't watch that, we're not going to see these changes. And for people, women and people who menstruate, you also have to consider perimenopause and menopause. I'm experiencing perimenopause, which is like a period of time that your body's approaching menopause. It can last about 10 years. So, and I've definitely been doing it since at least 2021. That's when I began to really notice. And for me, it caused, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which that can happen to anybody that's having perimenopause, not just autistic people. But in autistic people, premenstrual dysphoric disorder can be a lot more difficult to live with. It can lead to suicidal behavior. It can lead to more self-injurious behavior. It can lead to destructive behavior. It can cause damage to relationships because the person is, in a state because, their hormones are all screwed up as they're approaching their menstrual cycle, and their brain just isn't where it usually is any other time of the month, and relationships can suffer. And the anxiety and depression, and in my case it also includes trauma. I'm medicated, I'm in therapy, and those things are helping, and I do recommend you reach out if you can access those things if you think you need them. And you don't have to be traumatized to get therapy. You can just go in because you need some help with your life. I mean, there shouldn't be stigma in therapy. And therapists need to be trauma informed and neurodiversity accepting. Because if they try to hand you only neurotypical solutions to problems, that's an issue. And if you're autistic and you're seeing a therapist who does that, get a new therapist quickly. But aging when you're autistic, and especially the non-speaking population of autistic people, the thing with aging is that, we have problems just like everybody else that's aging. We have strokes, we have heart attacks, we can develop dementia. I mean, how are you going to spot like Alzheimer's or vascular dementia or frontotemporal dementia in a non-speaking autistic person? How are you going to spot it? They can't tell you. They can't do the thing where they, repeatedly tell the same story. I mean, they might come up to you with their device and not know how to work it, and you might take it as something is wrong with them and, give them a difficult time about it instead of taking them to a doctor. And I mean, Alzheimer's is a cruel disease to a neurotypical person. I think it would be even worse to an autistic person who cannot even tell somebody that they don't understand the world around them anymore. Because there is a point in Alzheimer's where people just don't understand how the world works anymore because the brain tissue has gone. And frontotemporal dementia, the aggressive behavior might just really kick up. I mean, you don't know, but if there's no research led by autistic people into aging when you're autistic, that might make life a lot harder. So I hope there is research being done, and I hope it's led by autistic people, because I'm sorry, but if you're neurotypical, you don't understand what it is to be autistic, and proximity to autistic people is not the same as lived experience. But anyway, aging and autism, it's not easy. It's complicated. It's just as complicated as going through puberty when you're autistic, and that ain't too fun either. But, time makes you bolder, children get older, and I'm getting older too. God bless Stevie Nicks. Love her. So anyway, aging and autism. Research. Where is it?